Shalom. This morning, I don't know if you heard the news. Well, Yitro, the priest of Midian, just opened the Egyptian Times and he saw the great news that the Jewish people, after being enslaved for 210 years, after 10 plagues afflicted the Egyptians, they were liberated. They were liberated from Egypt. Yes, 600,000 men with their wives and children, and all the gold of Egypt started just leaving. Since the creation, a slave wasn't freed from his slavery, and suddenly now in midday, everybody is leaving. Wow. Vayishma Yitro, Jethro heard this and decided to become Jewish. And Rashi actually says that not only did he hear about this, he even heard about the splitting of the sea. How the sea just opened in front of the Jewish people. They went through. At that moment, there was a great revelation of God. Even the babies were able to see great revelations that the prophet Yechezkel was not able to see. After that, Amalek came to fight against the Jewish people. So Rashi says, Vayishma Yitro. Yitro heard about the two events. The event of the splitting of the sea and the event of Amalek fighting against the Jewish people. And he decided to become Jewish and to join the Jewish nation. What? I understand the splitting of the sea, the magnanimous event, but the fight of Amalek, the war of Amalek, how did that make him want to become Jewish? The Talmud of Sanhedrin, page 94, says that Gnai hu leYisrael shelo nitna Torah ad sheba Yitro ve'amar Baruch Hashem. The Jewish people could not have received the Torah until this priest, the Pope of Midian, declared and said, Baruch Hashem, blessed is God. What is the message? You see, when we watch the news, you have two types of people that watch the news. You have one that watches the news and says, wow, another event. Oh, the Twin Towers went down. There was an earthquake. Oh, there was a flood. Terrible. And then you have a Yitro. Yitro, when he opened that day the Egyptian Times and saw what's happening, he asked himself, wow, unbelievable. What revelation of God. But right away, he asked himself, how is it possible? How is it possible that with such a revelation of godliness, Amalek can actually fight against the Jewish people? What nerve? What chutzpah? Where exactly did he get his strength? What is the weakness the Jewish people had? What is the problem? At this moment, Yitro thought to himself, 1 second. The whole purpose of the splitting of the sea is in order that we should receive the Torah. The Jewish nation should receive the Torah. What is the gift of the Torah? What is Matan Torah? It's the day that the supernal world and the physical world become one. Where suddenly godliness will permeate everything in the physical realm. Well, a preparation to that was the revelation of God at the splitting of the sea. But obviously, if an enemy like Amalek can fight against the Jewish people, it means that the revelation is not complete. What's missing? And to this, Yitro came to the conclusion that he is missing. I am missing. I, which got to know all of the idol worship, all of the black magic, all of the secrets of the impure underground, impure world, dark world. I, which abandoned all of it, but knew all of it, I'm missing in the equation. If I will recognize God and say, Baruch Hashem, blessed is God, He is the one and only one, at that moment, this will actually be like saying that the lowest levels have accepted the yoke of God. And that's what's missing. And that's why Yitro became a Jew when he understood that he was missing from the equation. You see, in our lives, God just wants to be part of our lives. God is the most polite of all beings. He only goes where he is invited. And in this moment, that Yitro finally invited Hashem, and the lowest levels were able to recognize God, this was the time that the Torah could be given. In our lives, we all have a little dark area in our lives. I remember a story of a young man that approached me once and told me that he was so popular in South Beach in all the clubs. And one day he got married and his wife got pregnant. And unfortunately, the baby was sick. The fetus was sick. And he understood that the type of sickness that this child had was because of his behaviors of the past in the club scene. At that moment, he told me, he cried to God and said, God, I'll accept to put a kippah on my head and everything that comes with a kippah. Even the darkest areas, the lowest areas of my life, I'm ready to give over to you and to recognize your dominion in these areas as well. A few days later, they made a blood test, and thank God, everything was gone. Yitro decided to look at the events of the world and not just go back and go by and just forget it, let's go to the next thing. He decided to stop and ask himself, which part of me, which dark part of me do I need to give over in order for God's revelation to be greater? So, what are you waiting for? Shabbat Shalom.